Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Te Atiawa First Nations people and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Absolute pleasure to have you along today. So thank you for joining me. Okay. What I was going to have a look at, and I've just split my deck, I'm using the Gilded Tarot Royale, was Musk has come out with the statement that shifting the US to Trump's plan to shift the US from an income tax to a tariffs would absolutely tank the economy in the US for the lower and middle income for at least 2 years before the economy even started to recover. So those that are backing the Trump tariff plan, believing what Trump said on the Joe Rogan show, how about you actually do some self-research instead of trusting a guy who bankrupted casino, I think not once but twice, and stole from a children's cancer charity, etc., etc. Do your own research. So I want to just have a look at what's happening there now. And as I split the deck, this is what they're offering. And it's absolutely going to destroy the US economy. If you think it'll make prices cheaper, no, it won't, because what happens then is the cost of the tariffs is put on to the consumer, and Trump's already said he plans to get rid of Medicare, Social Security, and Veterans Affairs allowances. Whatever. Okay. So if you're a Trump supporter, this is obviously not a channel for you. Don't bother commenting, but please, please, please do educate yourself. Some comments I leave up there as I try and steer people that are obviously misguided in the right direction. But my tolerance does have a limit. Okay, and what I want to have a look at is, so Musk is claiming that the US is bankrupt. No, it's not. No, it's not. And therefore the US should go to the crypto. Now, I did a reading about Trump taking the US off the dollar, which was very much about Musk's plan to go onto the crypto in regards to global trading. So what do I want to have a look at? Recently, he was at a conference called the All In Summit. It was a speak fest that was advertised as 3 nights of networking and outrageous parties. Ooh, that sounds like a really intellectual conference, doesn't it? Attended by the likes of John Miyashima, who believes in sorry, I'm just reading my notes here, thinking, goodness me, these people. Attended by Musk, attended by John Miyashima, who was a main speaker, saying that democracy cannot bring peace, only dictatorship can. Oh, okay, see how that works. And believes in a superpower is required to offset democracies. And Jeffrey Sachs, who is a believer that nuclear power is the only solution to climate change. Has he seen what it takes to actually deal with the discharge from nuclear power? He's embracing the rise of China, and he questions the international support of Ukraine. So he's ergo pro-Russia. So I just want to have a look at, oh goodness me, where do I go with this? Yeah, it's all about the power of money that is on offer, basically. It's all about the power of money. Now, I've spoken about this before. I'm going to have a look at, where do I go with this? Oh, by the way, yes, it was Montana, not Minnesota, that kept Harris off the ballot. I got my M's mixed up. I do apologise for that. So, where do I go with this? Where do I go? Where do I go with this? I'm just going to go the US economy going forward. So we know Harris is going to win. Please, 6 more sleeps. I can't wait. But know that that's not the end of it. It's just the beginning of what comes next. And I do feel it'll take at least possibly 8 to 12 years to really rinse out the system. So let's have a look. I mean, there'll be huge strides in the first 2 years, and I do see Harris having 2 terms, but it will take about her full 2 terms plus a bit to actually rinse out the corruption and the oligarchical money that's involved in behind the scenes. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. The US economy. The US economy under Harris. How about something positive? Show me the US economy under Harris. US economy under a President Harris. Now, remembering that the president has no control or very limited control over capitalism, which is based on supply and demand, the only lever they can pull on a governmental level is governmental projects. So, employment through and spending on governmental projects. They can't control the price of your groceries, except through Biden's brought in a price gouging legislation, preventing price gouging, and by moving the US off the reliance of, moving the world off the reliance of gas and oil. Well, I'm going to put it this way, it may even increase the price of gas and oil because there's less demand. So therefore, those that are actually buying it have to pay more to cover the infrastructure costs. But it's a good thing. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. The economy under the President Harris administration. The economy itself. Come on down. Let's have a look. Sorry about 7 minutes of waffling. Judgment. Okay. Collective awakening. Excuse me, my allergies are all having fun and games. So we've got judgment as signifier card here. This is about a collective awakening. This is a call to arms. I'm seeing this as the actual election result itself. So this is the starting point. Very lot of blue on that card. Challenged by the Page of Swords. Disenchanted youth wielding their small sword of truth. It's not a big sword. Let's see where this goes. Significant endings, new beginnings, new dawn, new cycle, new way of doing coming forward. In the past, we've got the Four of Swords. I'm asking about the economy. So swords are about wisdom, truth, strategy. I'm really getting the challenge here is a small strategic maneuvering that needs to be done. So moving the strategy is what I'm getting there. In the past, the economy, it's been in the tank. Remembering that the whole world has had inflation and still does. Remembering that basically everything ground to a halt during a global pandemic, and if it hadn't ground to a halt, the death rate would have been significantly higher. So in the past, and we're talking about now because I'm talking about the Harris administration. It's in the doldrums. I'm going to say pretty much in the doldrums, the economy for a long time. However, there is work going on behind the scenes in regards to the economy. There are secrets that are going to be brought forward and exposed to the light of the moon in the immediate future. So I'm also getting, with the crab here, pulling on the chains that are attached to this clock to pivot the light of the moon. So there may be some pivoting that takes place after there's an uncovering of some information here, but we've got the feminine strength, the community, the compassionate, internally. We've got the loss and walking away from what no longer serves on an emotional level. So I think what's happening here is the moon's also emotional, and we've got the moon here as well. The emotion is about a change in expectation is potentially required. I was reading something this morning on my local community page back home where someone was having a real whinge about the price of a local pub, their beer and meat pie. Well, the cost of everything goes up over time. That's what capitalism is. And if people are demanding higher wages, the cost to pay to have products served and produced also goes up. It's just a never-ending cycle. The cost of the actual ingredients goes up. Um, there is this need to walk away from the expectation that you'll ever be able to buy a house for the price that your parents paid back in the 1970s. That prices are going to remain the same or go down. If your income's going up, it means that either wages or taxes or um, uh, uh, your benefits, etc., are going up, which means the cost of things will go up as well. So it's it's very much about there is an expectation, I know, in Australia at the moment that everybody should be able to buy a house. Historically, going back 100 years or so, there's always been a division of 30%, 30%, 30%, 30% rent, 30% own, 30% have a mortgage. That has not changed for over 100 years. So I'm not saying you shouldn't aim for it, but there has to be an adjustment to reality. Okay, what we've got here, anxiety and worry, absolutely, and the hopes and fears. It's very much about the family, the kitchen table discussions, protecting the families. Now, family doesn't need to be father, mother, and child. It can be any makeup whatsoever, whether it's a person with their two dogs or whether it's uh, um, a single mum or a single dad or male, female child or two males, two female, whatever it is that's the family makeup here. It's very much the kitchen table that is of the most concern. There is a truth that needs to be told here. There is a crossroads moment. So there will be, how do I put this, guys? They're showing me, it's a harsh truth, but they're showing me that it's all put on the table. It's all visible. What's the term for that, guys? Transparency. There's transparency in the truth and strategy that's going to be brought forward. There are some tough decisions that need to be made, but it is time for these decisions to be made. Working together, a lot of skilled work going on behind the scenes. Yeah, a restriction of international potentially imports. I'm not saying that they're going to be restricted. It may simply be encouraging international manufacturing back onshore into the US, which Biden has already done with the CHIPS Act, and then moving forward, new boundaries being set up and bringing back balance. So things are not going to get fixed straight away. Let's have a look. Where do I go from here, guys? Where would you like me to go? So the economy, it's not like going to vote on the 5th and on the 6th, everything is fixed. The economy, it's a moving beast. It will take time. Where do I go with this, guys? You wanted me to read on it. Where do you want me to go? Okay. They're wanting me to have a look at what was actually discussed behind the scenes at this All-In Summit, just to give a comparison. So, yes, the economy, causing chaos, basically. That's what was discussed. How to cause chaos in the market, in the economy. Again, misinformation, disinformation being spread. Fear and chaos is what they're trying to put forward. I'm actually going to leave it there. The economy, it's not going to bounce back on the 6th of November. It's not even going to bounce back early next year, but it is a process. But it's also a process where people need to get educated to understand how the economy actually works, and what the government actually has control over. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. That was a bit of a waffly one. See where it goes. Love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.